Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. Got some body armor to test today. This is a 10 by 12 plate, level 4 from Militech. This is their alumina oxide and polyethylene plate. Typically this is the white ceramic strike face. Let's throw this guy on the table and see what we have in store today. As I mentioned, this is a 10 by 12 plate. It is just under 1 inch thick, weighs approximately 6 pounds. Not too bad for a level 4. I'm guessing, based on other Chinese plate tests that I've seen, that this probably is your typical tile array plate. This is not a solid strike face. We've already went ahead and performed the NIJ drop test. That's where we bolt this onto a rig with about 10 pounds of backing clay, and we drop it right on its face twice as a pre-test condition. We have some of my interesting threats to run today. We have M855A1, we have M80A1, we have the Israeli P80 black tip, and then we have our M2AP that we've done development out of our 300 Win Mag, and I have the NIJ spec 2880 feet per second, plus or minus 50 feet, that we'll run out of, and we have some more that'll go above that, and maybe, depending on how much the plate's left, I do have the 338 rum today. It's about 80 degrees outside today, kind of humid, trying to rain on me. We have our Proclonal Digital as always at about 15 feet. We have a new clay briefcase that I'll show you here in a second that will be placed at 45 feet, which is the NIJ distance. I'll remind you that pretty much level 4 only has to stop one of these at 2880 feet per second, which a lot of level 4, that's not a problem with. We're going to find out how well this guy can hold up to some abuse today. I originally posted a picture of this on Instagram, and then it goes to Facebook, but this is my new clay briefcase. This is now a 16 by 16 by approximately about 3 inches deep. Gotta love the orange clay that I added. My son apparently thought that gray was boring and we should mix some orange in with this. This took an additional 15 pounds of clay to fill that up. Good positive thing is we've increased the amount of wood area we have in the back, so when we get pass-throughs, we're not like beating up the steel and stuff on the briefcase, and then maybe we could actually capture some bullets or something if I put maybe a 5-gallon bucket of sand or something behind this. Okay, first up we'll do our M2AP load. This should be plus or minus 50 feet per second. Then we'll skip around on the different types of loads. I think we'll go to the M55A1 next, then the 308 threats, just to kind of see what's going to happen. We'll take a look at the plate every 2 shots. I would guess would be a good compromise. Velocity 2911, right where I wanted. Now our M855A1 out of a 22-inch TC compass. Should we get dialed in here? Move the whole unit over this way. There we go. Velocity 3252. Here was the M2AP. Here was the M855A1. As you can see, I did guess correctly that these are a tile array plate. You can see the line there. Now RMA does tile arrays in their 1189 and 1199. They do use a special glue that they use to somehow glue them all together, and they've passed NIJ testing while shooting right on the cracks, so that's something to consider. I do believe what's been stated online is they do the tile array on these plates because they can't manufacture a full strike face. All right, enough testing. What do you guys think? No penetration. A little bit of back face there. Decent amount of back face there. We were up in the corner. That could be why, but No penetration. There's our back face there. Let's see if we can get a measurement on that. All right, it's looking to be right around 33 millimeters. Hopefully everybody that watches my channel doesn't get tired of me talking about this, but the clay that I use is like the NIJ clay, but it's not the same. Mine typically needs a lower temperature to get softer. It's around 80 degrees right now. 90 degrees, when I attempted one time to certify it, at 90 degrees it did produce the required impressions from dropping a 30-some millimeter steel ball at 6 feet. So this just gives you a good representation of back face. You're allowed 44 millimeters, and when you get to 44 millimeters and above, that's when the NIJ says, hey, that blunt force trauma could cause internal injuries and or death from it. Not sure I've read a lot of cases where that's happened, but you know, I get a lot of comments at times, oh man, well I wouldn't want to take that hit because I'd die. Well yeah, you don't want to get hit with anything, but you probably would survive that. Bruised ribs, cracked ribs, but you'd survive. Okay, now on to our 308 threats. We'll do the P80 black tip first, then the M80A1. This will be out of a 22-inch TC compass. We have the Yankee Hill Phantom on there. Velocity 2818. Now the M80A1. Velocity 2943. Here was shot number 1. Shot number 2. What do you guys think? Oh, no penetration. There's some back face going on there. Not too much. Impressive. A lot of people tend to talk about how level 4 is not really multi-hit capable. And I've kind of proved that wrong many times over. Even this made in China plate, we got 4 hits on here. We still got plenty more. I think maybe we'll step up to one of the high velocity M2APs and then maybe the 338. Okay, now we have one of the overspec M2APs. This should be 3,100, maybe 3,200 feet per second. Somewhere in that vicinity. Maybe? I don't know. I'm trying to remember where this loads at, but we'll see what we get. I'm going to aim a little lower, make sure we're in a good, fresh spot of the plate. Velocity 3144, and it's raining ceramic. You can see all the ceramic that's leaving the plate. Here was our shot right here. What do you guys think? I kind of see a hole there. We were down far enough from that last shot that we should have been on a solid piece of ceramic. Any takers? Hey, it stopped it. Back face is quite a bit more on that round. I mean, that's a good 200 feet per second faster than the NIJ spec. Got a bit of a dimple there. See if we can measure that real quick. Right around 38 millimeters, not bad. Well, you guys want to see this against 338? I bet you do. Let's get set up for that. Time to go big or go home. We have a 338 Remington Ultra Mag, pretty close to 338 Lapua. Kind of a poor man's Lapua, but at the same time not, because brass is really hard to find for this. We have a 240 grain copper solid with a titanium tip. This is Lehigh Defense's flash tip round. We have a Browning A bolt with approximately 26 inch barrel. I had cut it down at one point to have a muzzle brake threaded onto it so we can shoot this thing all day. I put the GoPro down there to see if we get a flash off this, because we're going to be hitting a pretty hard surface with it. And this will be interesting. Here we go. Velocity 28, 24. I can see our bullet in there. It's very warm in there. What do you guys think? That titanium tip is supposed to be pretty soft. Oh! Stopped it. Amazing. Back face, I'd say on par with the 300 Win Mag M2 AP, maybe a little less. Maybe like the NIJ load there. Not bad. 6 rounds. No penetration. Impressive. Here's kind of what underneath the front cover of this plate looks like. You can see the different tile arrays. This is not a true 10x12 plate. You can see there is a maybe 1/2 inch or larger foam ring that extends all the way around the plate. Now we do have some good tiles left. We have one right there, one right there, one right there. I'd say this plate didn't do too bad. You know, given that RF 1, 2, and 3 NIJ standards are about ready to come out, you know, in the next few months, hopefully, you would think that some of these level 4 manufacturers would start working on doing NIJ 06 strike face protection with a foam face here that could help possibly keep these tiles together a little better, make it a little more multi-hit capable. Again, I mean, if you get hit with one round or a couple, you should be heading for cover after that. So the question is, can you trust your life to a made in China plate? I'd say if you are paying attention and buy the right level 4 plates from China, I would have no problem recommending one of these. They did everything it said it was going to do. It only has to stop one M2 AP round, and it stopped quite a bit above that. Now, I do know there are some varying laws on how you actually can import this and have this for sale. That's not what we get into here on the channel. We pretty much are set out to destroy body armor and do demonstrations for you all. So if you're gonna look at this stuff to purchase, you have a little more information. Now, Militech has had NIJ lab testing done out of Australia, and everything that they show me shows that, like I showed you, this plate's no joke. I'd like to thank Militech for contacting me, my Patreon supporters, and you all for watching. We're going to test their silicon carbide plate up next. Until next time, catch you at the range.